So we are still some amount of time away from anything interesting happening in Dokkan. I mean, they seem to just be not revealing, teasing, threatening, punishing us with any information on Golden Week. So what I wanted to do is talk about what if units and their weird place in Dokkan, and mostly why they haven't shown up more. You see, this is an original animation for you like super fans who didn't really watch Z. You know, and that might sound strange to a lot of people. You know, how could you not watch Z? There are a lot of people who just like Super, right? I mean, it seems like remarkable, but it's true. So if you see this in game and you just started watching Dragon Ball around the time of the movies and Super, you probably look at this and you're like, oh yeah, that just must have happened. Like, why would they put something in that? You know, Dokkan just does the stuff from the show and sometimes stuff from the manga, and they don't really stray from that. Sometimes Dokkan actually goes out of their way to create unique and original animations. We see this oftentimes with characters like fusions who just don't have that much material anymore. You know, Vegito from the anniversary rather has gotten one of the best looking period original animations that the game has ever seen, and he is a great example of what the Dokkan team can achieve when given time, right? We've seen several animations now that are completely original to Dokkan and aren't even references to like games or series like Budokai. In this case, if you want to talk about Budokai, the Int Broly from Worldwide last year had a Budokai animation, and that is something remarkable. The reason I'm bringing this up, you know, just a little history lesson, sorry if I'm yapping too much, is Dokkan is sort of missing this in its everyday celebrations. And again, you might think I'm yapping, you might think like, what do you mean there's so much stuff that's not in the game yet? And that's sort of true, but we're getting closer to hype being done with. Like, we're getting closer and closer. Every single day we get a little bit closer to there being a lack of big moments, big spots to put in the game, because Dokkan is recycling moments now. You know, I say all the time, I want a new Cell. We still have a bunch of things from Cell that aren't in the game. I want a new, you know, transforming Frieza and this and that. And most people meet that with, no, I want one, Daima, which is fine. Daima is new. Daima is not in the game completely yet, so Daima is up there. But some people are like, I want more Beast Gohan. I want more, you know, fusions. I want more UI, things like that. And in those cases, we have to start looking at original content for the game rather than recycling animations. Look at Beast Gohan from last year. Beast Gohan is obviously an incredibly popular character, but one of the downsides of that character showing up over and over again is there's just not that much of him. There's gonna be more if they ever decide to adapt the manga, if the manga returns. Super is completely up in the air, but what happened when this character entered Dokkan during the 9th anniversary? One of the things people complained about. I wasn't one of these people. This isn't working for some reason. I wasn't one of those people. Beast Gohan doesn't move me that much, and I don't want to talk about this as disparaging. It just is what it is. He's cool, but like I said, I don't know why these aren't working, but one of the things about him that people complained about, others complained about, and I don't really mind, is they reused a lot of the cuts for his animations because Beast Gohan is technically, quote-unquote, in the game through an active skill with Biz Least Gohan here, right? So we know that, you know. Who is another character I can point to? I guess we could go to something like Namek Saga, right? So we could we can go here, and then we could go to Namek Saga, and we could find, where is it? There. And we could find the Ginyus here, right? The Ginyu Force had reused animations, particularly in the Melky canon by Ginyu when you use his Ultra, right? People are complaining. They're like, what? They reused that? I personally find that if they reuse things, but they look good, they're nice remasters, they're nice recuts, it's fine. But the closer and closer we get to stepping on big releases, and I guess it's just one of those things I have to launch completely. Maybe if I hard refresh it. The closer we get to stepping on these big releases, the closer we get to Dokkan having to come up with things to do, because this shot is in the game now. This is one of those characters that now feels wasted. These are some of the best animations I've seen from Dokkan, not only just the Z Saga, but like, you could not convince me that Piccolo has better animations in Dokkan than this card. Like, this card looks amazing, right? This is the best Piccolo probably. Like, impact frames, ton of movement, ton of colors, you know, very true to the series, like the palette, the shading. They look amazing, man. So if you're a big fan of Piccolo, this is a really hype moment, but guess what? This character is like unusable, and he was unusable fast. Terrible transformation condition, no team, the dynamic team just sucked. This is so gorgeous. This is one of the best 12 keys in the game, I think. This is so gorgeous. So I say all of that just to say that, oh, it's so good. I say all that just to say that Dokkan, the further and further it gets away from hype, the better we see from them, because there's still so much to use. Whereas what was, I mean, again, I don't want to shit on the 10th anniversary. I don't want to make this sound like I'm shit on the 10th anniversary at all. Please don't take that as this. But remember, when this Gogeta popped, you know, the fusion here, what was one of the things people complained about? Not me. I don't care. I said it before. If they reuse animations, if they retool, rekit, recut, repurpose, it doesn't really bother me that bad, so long as they're good. And in this case, you can't really redo this scene that many more times. One of the things I'd say about this is, I like Gogeta when he's a little stoic. And in this case, you know, he's like cheesing and shit. That's not really for me. I think they did a better job on Vegeto's sauce than they did on Gogeta here, but it's not because they reused, it's just because I don't think they got the character down that much. I think the Gogeta smile in the Z era, timeline canon, what have you, is saved for, you know, the finishing move. I'm not too into him cheesing just randomly. But yeah, another example of this is Paikuhan, right? I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but Paikuhan has better animations than some of them 10th anniversary LRs. Are you kidding me? Like, it's kind of embarrassing. And it comes from him being unexplored and him having a ton of material from the show. The further away we get from hype, the better the arts and stuff will look, because they'll be able to pull from the show and they won't be forced to just continue to reuse. I think what I would like to see from Dokkan going into the new year, if they're going to keep up this habit of revisiting hype, is some more characteristic and fun what ifs that match the Dragon Ball series, and I'm gonna go pull some of those up that I want to see really, really bad. So easily one of the cases for the most hype I could see a what if unit being is just taking one from Legends. The thing about this is I don't know what it is that like Dokkan has in place with Shueisha, with Toei, with Bandai, whatever it is. But there's something there keeping them from exploring stuff like this. I just know it. I just know it. Because people always talk, oh, peaks and valleys with hype, peaks and valleys with hype. The thing is, I think if Dokkan could release, you know, tag Bardock Goku, Kefla every time, UI every time, Ultra Ego every time, it wouldn't really be a reason for them not to, right? It would make the most money. Gacha games aren't trying to make less money. They're trying to make more money, right? There's not really a reason they could not do something like this. So certainly there's just like there's an incentive there not to push stuff like this throughout the year consistently, right? Whatever it is that is keeping them from doing this character needs to like come down, because some of the animations they came up with, the angles, the camera like whipping around with their movement, it looks so good. And I mean, is this not like going to get top grossing the moment it drops in Dokkan? And it brings to mind, like, what are they going to do with Bardock then? Like, what does Bardock do from here? Bardock is like done. You know, there's not that much more Bardock to put in the series. He's not in the manga. He's not been in movies. He's not been in the games. I guess in Sparking Zero, he's had some fun animations, you know, redone. And I'd say Bardock has some really great ones in that game, but like, it's nothing special. But let's get into the next character. This has to be just another no-brainer, right? Gohan Black showed up a year ago. We're a year, like, almost, right? A year? Something like that. We are months away. 8 months, 9 months, something. We are so far away from this reveal, and nothing. Not a playable character in Sparking Zero, not a playable character in Legends, Super Heroes is completely gone, Super Divers is dying, and Dokkan has shown no interest at all. So what do we do? What are we doing here? Is this not... This shook the internet. People love Gohan. And again, while people like me want more of like the... You know, we want more of the original Gohan, there's a huge market for people that just want to see the character Gohan do hype things. And, I mean, why not just do this, right? You're telling me Gohan Black, the first time he shows up in Dokkan, isn't going to be top grossing? The character is insanely popular. The character of Gohan is. And, I mean, let's be honest. Some of the most widely viewed fan content for Dragon Ball is, what if you made Goku and Gohan evil? Like, not my thing, but it's a lot of people's thing, right? Let's get into one last example. So just in general, I think Goten and Trunks are some of the most underutilized and poorly fulfilled characters in the entire series. Huge potential. Gotenks was hugely popular at a time. Now these characters just feel as though they're completely relegated to just a joke. And that's really unfortunate, right? It's really, really unfortunate. Because a lot of... Again, if you're on the younger side, if you only came for Super, that's fine. But if you probably don't remember a time where Trunks was like the most exciting character to hit Dragon Ball, like Dragon Ball Z. When he showed up and just washed Frieza, that was a moment, man. This character was everywhere. They were making fusion forms of him with his dad. They were making fusion forms of him with Gohan. Like, hugely popular and successful character within the series. Now, it feels like that's waned a lot. But it's not... It's even more so when you look at things that aren't Super Dragon Ball heroes, which is dead now. It's defunct. They're done. And for them to throw away the Super Dragon Ball Heroes name, the branding, and which was giving Trunks something to fucking do. Trunks has nothing to do anymore. He and Goten are just for fun characters. They don't accomplish anything anymore. It sucks because, like I said, if you're someone that grew up, especially because Goten and Trunks, if you were young around the time they showed up, they were like your insert character, right? Because they were kids. Everyone else was like a 40-year-old man, you know. Rarely in Shonen do you actually have like adults as like the leading faces of the characters. Typically in Shonen, every character is like 17, 16, 15, so that they can appeal to the person watching. Goku and Vegeta are a rare case where they are literally 30-year-old men, 40-year-old men. So like that's really rare in like big name brand Shonen, right? Goten and Trunks were that insert in the Buu saga. If you were pretty young, you thought they were... I mean, they're hype, man. They even went as far as to give them pretty modern... I mean, you know... People are going to say it's Zoomer talk, but they gave them lines that are more associated with black culture in Sparking Zero. Not Zoomers, so... But it's to appeal to that market, right? I think there's a real possibility that like these characters could and should show up in Dokkan and other Dragon Ball IPs. This Sentai stuff, Sentai is like the Power Rangers or what have you in Toku Sentai in Japan. This stuff is heat, man. They could do a lot of shit with this, and I don't feel like Trunks should be a character that's completely sidelined outside of just Future Saga nonsense. Like, they clearly have an interest in this character. He's clearly one of the more popular characters still, because they show that anytime they do Super Dragon Ball Hero stuff, because they'll have him in there in like Super Saiyan 2, fusions, you know, Xeno, all this like, you know, nonsense. But Not nonsense. I'm sorry. If you like Super Dragon Ball Heroes, I'm not ragging on you. It wasn't for me. I played the port that came to the PC, but you know, I just thought it was alright. But like all this crazy shit they have this character doing, but he can't show up in games. He can't have the new outfit. Him and Goten are never taken seriously. I think it's a real possibility to get a nice what if unit out of this. But with all that being said, like if you like the video, subscribe to the club. We all gonna make it. And what is your what if character of choice if you've made it this long? Peace.